Welcome to CARICOMP Insider, where high-tech facial recognition meets real-world intelligence.
The last time you took a selfie to verify your identity on an app, you probably thought the system was doing one thing, checking whether your face matched your photo. It wasn't. Before that match ever ran, your image quietly passed through at least 4 separate gates you never saw. That matters whether you're swiping on a dating app or investigating fraud for a living. Because the way most of us think about facial verification is fundamentally wrong. We've been told it's a single yes or no question. Does this face match that face? And if that sounds like a coin flip that decides your digital identity, that's a reasonable thing to feel uneasy about. But the real process is far more layered, and understanding those layers is what turns anxiety into clarity. So what actually happens between the moment you hit record and the moment the app says verified? When Tinder rolled out mandatory facial verification for new US users, the company reported a 60% reduction in exposure to potential bad actors. Reports from users about those bad actors dropped by 40%. Those aren't small numbers. And the reason they're so high isn't because the face matching got better. It's because the system stacks multiple checkpoints in sequence, and a fraudster has to beat every single one. The first gate is liveness detection. That's the system figuring out whether it's looking at a real, breathing human being or a photo held up to the camera, a mask, or a deepfake. It does this by analyzing signals you'd never think to fake. Micro movements in your skin, the way light bounces off actual pores, depth cues that a flat image simply can't produce. The system layers all of these together so that replicating any single trait isn't enough to get through. Now, some systems ask you to blink or turn your head. That's called active liveness detection. But the more resilient approach is passive. It runs invisibly in the background while you just sit there. Why does passive work better? Because if a system asks you to smile, a sophisticated attacker can puppet a deepfake to smile too. Passive systems skip the observable behavior entirely. They examine things deepfakes still struggle to reproduce, like the three-dimensional structure of a face or how real skin reflects natural light. According to performance benchmarks from companies like Keyless, a leading passive liveness engine completes these checks in under 300 milliseconds. That's faster than a blink. You don't notice it happening, and that's the point. If your video passes the liveness gate, it hits the second invisible checkpoint, image quality. The system scores your focus, your lighting, your pose, and overall face clarity. If the light source is too far off angle, or the image is blurry, or your face is turned too far to one side, you get rejected right there. Not because you're a fraud, because the system can't extract reliable data from a bad input. For anyone who's ever had a verification attempt fail for no obvious reason, this is probably what happened. It wasn't a match failure. It was an environmental one. Only after clearing both of those gates does the system move to the step most people assume is the only step, the actual face match. The actual face match. And even this doesn't work the way you'd expect. The system doesn't store your selfie. It detects your face in the video, maps your facial geometry, and compresses that geometry into something called a face vector. That's a mathematical model of your unique facial characteristics, not an image file. It can't be reverse engineered back into a photo of you. The original video gets deleted. Only this encrypted template remains, and it's what gets compared against your profile photos. So why does all of this matter right now? According to fraud data compiled by SumSub, AI-driven fraud and deepfake usage surged fourfold between 2023 and 2024. Deepfakes accounted for 7% of all fraud last year. That's not a niche threat anymore. A single liveness check used to be enough. Now it's the bare minimum. That's exactly why these systems stack 4 gates instead of 1, because the attackers got better, so the defenses had to get deeper. Most verification failures don't happen because 2 faces don't match. They happen long before the matching algorithm ever runs, at invisible quality and liveness gates the user never sees. So here's what to take with you. A facial verification isn't one check. It's a sequence of hidden gates, liveness, quality, then matching, and most rejections happen at the first 2. The system doesn't store your face. It stores an encrypted math problem that can't be turned back into a photo. Whether you're investigating identity fraud or just trying to verify your own account on a Friday night, the algorithm is only as good as the image you feed it. The written version goes deeper. Links below.
Now you know something most people in this industry don't. Use it. And when you're ready to put it to work, caracomp.com. We'll see you tomorrow.